And your podcast is so stupid. I hate it.
At night,
I hate it.
Sunil Patel,
I hate you.
Huge Davies.
And I hate you.
You are now entering Slam Country.
We all miss Pickwick very much, don't we, on this podcast?
Unfortunately, he was baked in a big kiln.
He was baked in a big pottery kiln because they couldn't afford to. They couldn't afford to take him with them.
It was a sacrifice to the man who owned the building.
Sacrifice to the man who owned the building. We managed to get away without doing a sacrifice, which is.
I did a small sacrifice.
Oh, who did you sacrifice?
Sunil
Patel.
I sacrificed Sunil Patel.
That's why he hasn't been on the podcast. All the clips you heard on the podcast of Sunil since we left the studio have been reconstituted from grunts and phrases that he said in earlier recordings that we cut out.
It's AI.
It's AI. We got AI Sunil.
We got his voice, and we also got ChatGPT.
We got ChatGPT to say, oh, that's interesting, and I need to go, and I don't want to do this podcast anymore.
Yeah,
and it was like he'd never left.
Well, it's my catchphrase is interesting, and Sunil would often he'd do a guttural laugh every now and then, and you'd say, "Vote to leave." I think it's vote to leave.
He'd say vote to leave.
Well, I'm voting to stay. Hello, Slime Country patrons. Hello, Slimers.
Hi, Slimers. This is a normal, not a bonus.
Oh, this is a normal.
We're at the.
Well, hello, patrons. I assume you're listening to this too.
Yeah, well, they would. Yeah, they would be, wouldn't they? We're in the little park outside St Giles in the Fields.
Yeah.
In Covent Garden.
It's very peaceful here. There's a bunch of characters here. Should we go through them?
There's crazy characters here. We've got
man in a beret.
Man in a beret.
We've got man in a hood.
Man in a hood. Woman with a book. Woman with glasses and book. Woman with glasses.
She looks like a spy. Do you think she's from Trusty Hogs?
Yeah, well, certainly a Trusty Hogs.
Observing us. Well,
I think
next to us are two people. I think they're finishing a day and they're having quite a tender hug. Oh,
good. Yeah, sorry, that's great. I was just taking my headphones off there for a sec because I'm aware of because I've got the headphones on. I'm aware of everything's so loud to me of how you and me are speaking, and I'm so paranoid that everybody can hear us. But I've taken the headphones off, and we're actually speaking quite quietly, aren't we?
Yeah, but there's a playground in front of us. There's one child in there.
There's a playground.
Is the child being minded? Is that a child by itself?
I think I can see a parent.
I'd like to think the child took itself to the park.
Yeah, it's a really tiny baby, so I don't think so.
I had to take a child to a park.
Unless it's Boss Baby. Which one?
My niece.
Oh, how did that go?
It was
park?
good.
Which park?
It was a park near Crane. It was Crane Park in Twickenham.
Park near Crane Park.
Crane Park. And the thing is, did I ever tell you about my niece?
What about her?
She's really big.
Is she big now?
Well, she was always big. So my brother is about 6'6".
No, to be fair to her, she was quite small when she was younger.
No,
she was much smaller than she is now.
Compared to the other children, So my brother is 6'6", and his wife is about 6 foot. So they've created two monsters, and in the they've got this the averages of children and stuff. It's very interesting to look at. But my
the percentiles.
Yeah.
Are you doing cranial measurements on your niece? Are you doing percentile?
Only in public.
Are you getting the calipers out?
I'm testing how hard she is. Every time I bounce her around like a basketball.
She's going to be the new Erling Haaland. She's testing how much of a freak of nature.
I'm cutting off the size of her head so that she can have a nice little Nordic ponytail. But she's basically she's in the 99.97 percentile of baby sizes. So at age 4, she was the same size.
I bet you I'm probably in a higher percentile for baby sizes. That's not that impressive.
Well, you?
Yeah, I'm probably in a higher percentile for baby size than her.
Yeah, for sure.
That's not impressive.
But she was at 2 years old. She was the same size as a 4-year-old, and 4-year-olds used to go approach her in the park. They'd be on scooters, and they'd be like, "Do you want to come play with us?" And I'd say, "No, you don't understand. That's a baby. It can barely speak.
She can't understand you.
You can't. This baby has just learned to stand. It can't even shit in a toilet."
I've just littered by mistake.
It's
Isn't
okay.
that so bad?
In the church?
Yeah, in the churchyard. Can you believe that?
But I'm looking to the left and right of me, and there is someone who is put out a blunt by spitting on it. So I think it might be okay.
Really?
Yeah, look at that.
Spitting on it. That's quite novel.
Look at that. Someone's just done that.
I reckon that's the sort of thing I'd probably do.
What?
You know what? Because I'm like scared. When I put a cigarette out in the bin, I'm like, oh, am I going to burn the bin down?
I do think about that quite a lot.
So
You started the Great Fire of London Part 2.
I do. Do you know the Puffin Man? The Puffin Man. The Puffin Man. Do you
Yeah.
know the Puffin Man? He lives on Cigarettes Lane. Puffing as in puffing cigarettes,
Yeah.
not like the bird, the puffin, obviously.
At this venue I was at yesterday, interestingly. What was it called again?
The Mild May Club.
The Mildmay Club. There's a bunch of stuff in there. You should go see it. So there's like a billiards room, really old billiards room, and on the sides of the billiards room, there's a guy there who books the gig who was showing me around because I got there very early to soundcheck.
I've been to a wedding there.
Oh, really? In the billiards room, there's all these snooker cues all around the edge of the room.
In the billiards room?
In the billiards room.
Wow.
And they're all locked up. They're padlocked up, and they're cues from men who went to war in World War One and didn't return, so they've kept the cues
Oh my god.
up there. So there's like the whole room is lined. There's about 120 of them. All these cues around the edges of all these dead soldiers. And then you go upstairs, and in the main bar area, there's all these letters on the wall of all these people that have written in to the club.
Yeah.
Basically, who are just like from the trenches, saying how much they miss the club and how much they miss playing snooker there.
Sorry, I just had to grab that filter from down there.
That's okay. That's fine. But it's actually incredible. And they're using all the So I read one of the letters and it said "Old Blighty" on it.
Wow.
Someone actually wrote.
Like I miss old Blighty.
Yes, I miss Old Blighty. Can you imagine? I thought that was just a thing that was in Blackadder or something.
Like Dad's Army.
Yeah. But they actually used to say that kind of a thing. Blew me away. And they were mostly just saying, "Thank you for sending me cigarettes." It really takes the edge off when I've shot a German man in the head when I get to have a nice big tab at the end of the day.
I think,
But it was actually very interesting.
The modern day equivalent of the type of man who goes to war.
Sorry.
That's all right. You cough away, my boy. This podcast is all about ambient sounds. You know, this we know.
You can hear that. That's a pigeon fluttering its wings. We wouldn't normally have that in the podcast.
Brilliant, yeah. Well, actually, the quality of the studios we've had, we probably would have had that on the
Yeah,
podcast.
that's sharing it with a family of pigeons and rats.
The
Civil War, we used to call it, between the pigeons and the rats.
Yeah. The modern equivalent of the type of guy that goes to World War One and only writes letters home about how much he misses the environment in his local snooker club is a listener of the Slime Country podcast.
For sure. If emails are what letters were,
yeah, exactly.
Then that's all the emails we're getting.
Imagine, it's such a cool guy thing to be like, to be in the trenches of the First World War, to be in the Somme and go, "Man, God, I wish I was playing snooker right now."
Yeah, you're
I wish
basically
I was with these same guys that I'm in the trenches with,
Yeah.
but staring at the floor, not talking, making
in the face of death every single day, and the most profound thing you can say is, "I wish I was having a tab out the back of the snooker hall." But you know what?
I
It
don't
was
blame you.
profound.
You know me,
actually.
I love snooker. I do find that very profound. I love.
Do you think we should play snooker?
Yeah, we should
Boston Pod?
We should do an episode of playing snooker.
I seriously think this is the way forward. I'm feeling so much calmer out here. On the if you join the Slime Patreon, I think we should do a poll on where we should go next.
I think we should do, and I think we should do. We should invest in those Rode microphone, the lav mics they have, because I tell you what,
We already have two. We got one left. We only have one.
No. We need to buy. In fact, I did something.
Sunil has them.
No. Has he got the one that's got the three? Because I saw a thing yesterday on this project I did, just by coincidence. It's funny how life throws these coincidences at you, where it's like I saw it and I was like, oh, that's the thing we need to get. It's like it's the Rode lav mics, but they're radio mics.
No, but I've no. So Sunil has shown me
Okay.
what he's got, and I did about 3 hours of research on this thing, and I spoke to a sound engineer from who works my sitcom, and he recommended these things. Sunil actually has got some. We need to buy one more though.
Okay, one more.
So
that's
Sunil
fine.
has two.
Is it the Rode ones?
I can't remember.
Okay,
but it was about 2 months ago.
Those are the ones that everyone talks about.
As it's tradition on the Slime Country podcast, you can hear the admin of the podcast live on the podcast.
Yeah, actually, this would be really interesting to know. Do you guys vibe with the feeling and the sound of the last two episodes when you can hear background noise and we're like pausing to roll cigarettes and stuff like that, and asking permission to go and record in the Banksy shop?
We walked past earlier though. I don't know if he calls in the last episode. They said you just walk around the podcast. She said, I've never seen that before. I think I've never seen that before either.
I don't think I've ever seen that before, to be honest. But
to be fair, the only podcasts I've seen recorded are the ones that I've been invited to. I'll say that.
And also, the way we're doing it today is extremely conspicuous. I'm holding I'm holding the recorder in my hand and I have headphones on and I'm holding a microphone.
Quite
Hugh's holding a microphone and he's got like a 10-meter XLR cable wrapped around his arm like a sailor and a rope.
If I'd never seen a podcast studio before,
Yeah.
I'd say that it looks like we are about to plan a terrorist attack. It looks like we're about to blow up this church and this churchyard.
Well, little do they know that we've never once planned anything in our whole lives.
You couldn't plan a terrorist attack.
I couldn't plan a
Yeah.
terrorist attack.
Oh, sorry about that.
Who's calling? Who's calling on the
Let's have a look.
Oh, do you know what I've just noticed that I forgot about? Now, do you know
it's-
what's really brilliant about this listener?
Oh, by the way, this is a text from my one people from my tour.
Oh yeah.
Leeds. What do you reckon? Should I go to Leeds?
What would you be doing? The Hyde Park Book Club?
No, the Old Woolen.
The Old One. I don't know that, but I did I've done Leeds many times. I've done several previews in Leeds, and I did my tour show there. I love Leeds, man. I think Leeds is a great city, and
Leeds
I think when I did my tour, Loads of Slimers came down. I'll be coming to Leeds again on tour in 2025. Don't worry about that. Now, listeners, don't know if you heard that while Hugh was checking his phone. Great, brilliant. And do you know what the best thing about it is, listeners? Because he's not wearing headphones, he can't hear it.
Oh no, you're doing the sounds.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, please.
Just remember, this is the old recorder
Can you
that has
take-
the sounds on.
Shoot your finger up,
I'm
please.
just trying to figure out which
What's
ones
the
they
point of
are.
us recording an ambient garden in a church? If you, what is it? Is it the horn?
That was the
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah, I
That
knew-
was
I
the-
knew
that
what
was
you were
the
gonna
horn. I don't know. That's great. I didn't even know that one was the horn. It's been
Yeah.
so long. I didn't know that. That's
Yeah.
the
What's
one.
the other ones again? Horn.
So C is the drum fill.
Yeah.
So I'll do that one. Diesel horn.
Yeah.
B is what's B? B is the cash machine. Cash register, cha-ching, and A is. Oh yeah, that thing's like da 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 da.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the B is a commentary on where we are. We're at the church. They love a bit of cash, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They
They
love
love
a
it.
bit of cash flow. Come on.
Do you know what?
No, Ed, stop reaching
the
down.
trumpet sound. The angels sing.
Yeah. Is it possible to replace A with the sound of the last post?
That
I
would
want
be
it
brilliant.
3 minute long
The
last
full
post.
last
Yeah.
post. Yeah, that'd be brilliant.
Last post is good, isn't it? I'm surprised that David Guetta hasn't a remix of that.
When I was
This shout out to their families, all of them.
shout out to their families, shout out to their snooker clubs. He when I was a kid and I was in the church choir, we had to do fucking memorial services and shit where some cunt would play the last post and we'd do We Will Remember Them and all that shit. You
No,
know?
really.
Yeah.
Abide with me.
Oh yeah.
Oh, big
Abide with
time.
me. Fast falls the eventide.
Yeah, you have to do that song at the end of
Not much falls
Fast
faster.
and Fast and the Furious 8.
Absolutely. Yeah. Not much
It's
falls.
been a long time. One last ride. That's the name of the service.
Yeah, and then at the end of the, we did One More Time, I Love It, because everyone knows the Second World War's coming.
Yeah.
One more time.
It's a Vigo van special. I've seen him do
You
wedding.
don't want to be wearing high vis in the trenches, I'll tell you that much.
I've seen him DJ a wedding.
Really?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah, good stuff.
Vigo's a very nice boy. I'll tell you what, do you know what I respect about Vigo? He was one of the people I have a very vivid memory of just getting hangover fear thinking about it. At the Edinburgh Fringe, I was about 4 a.m. in a bar one night of just absolutely chewing his fucking ear off.
Nice, pal.
Absolutely chewing his ear off.
Oh,
I
yeah?
was pissed. I think he was pissed as well, and he didn't mind. He's a good boy, but yeah, I was absolutely fucking. I saw him the next day, and I was like, I said, "You're a good boy, Vigo." I said, "I'm sorry about last night." I said, "Don't worry, brother." You know, and it's like you see someone that you're like a good acquaintance with, and you're like, "Yeah, it's you and me, brother."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Harry Hills has texted me.
Oh yeah. Oh fuck. Can you ask
Harry Hill to get on the podcast.
No, not the podcast, but yeah, obviously the podcast. Get Harry Hill on the pod, but I actually need to ask him something about a different project. Will you give me his number?
Yeah, sure. I'll give you Harry Hill's
Also,
number.
actually, fuck, they're so annoying. I'm having such a nice time. I don't want to get my phone out and make a note to edit something out. Also, because I'm really pressed for time. But I do really want to tell you something.
Sorry, Harry just texted me. So I did Harry Hill's podcast yesterday. Shout out Harry Hill, and we forgot to get a photo with us at the podcast, and he just said, "Which one of these photos do you vibe with the most?" And it's just loads of different people with a with a keyboard, and he's going to crop our heads onto those photos for the podcast.
That's brilliant.
That's so funny.
He's so funny, man. I've never met the guy, but he seems like a very nice guy.
No, he's great.
So wait, hang on, you've done his podcast, and
Yeah.
he's not done ours.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem very fair, does
He
it?
can do
A live one or something,
episode.
yeah.
Well, I don't know what a live episode. If we do if we continue to do outdoor episodes like this, a live podcast will surely be a walking tour, I imagine.
Walking to a big open top bus tour.
Open top. Oh my god, should we do an open top
Slum
bus?
Country open.
Oh
All of our
my
old
God.
horns. Or I tell you what would be great.
But we're just we'll be touring. We can't go through London. I imagine we'll be touring some sort of
hostages on a bus. Take them
Yeah.
out into the countryside. Turn the GPS off. No, I reckon we should do like Regent's Park open air theatre in the round.
Oh yeah. License please, Ed. No.
Oh fuck! I thought that was the cash machine when I said Regent's Park. Hang on. There you go. You've got the lighter. I'll give it to you.
Oh, I do
Around
actually.
there
Yeah. Sorry.
Fuck, man. I didn't know Harry had a podcast.
It's doing very well.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like everything's so. You know, you say stuff like, "Oh, everything's different in comedy now," and it is. But then it's like it's so different. Like Harry Hill has a podcast.
It's mad, isn't it?
Kevin Bridges is putting crowd work clips on Instagram.
Yeah. Dara Breen's setting up the camera at the back of the room.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
It's like if you guys feel like you need to do this, what chance do the rest of us have?
Yeah, sure.
Kevin Bridges is putting crowd work clips from his arena shows. And I like Kevin. I've never met Kevin Bridges, but I like Kevin Bridges as stand-up.
I once saw him before.
But it's like you are the most famous it's possible
Yeah.
to be as a stand-up in this country. If your people are saying you need to put clips online, then that's really the way things are going.
Yeah. I saw him do a show once. It was the Guinea Pig Club on a Tuesday, and the crowd was absolutely dead. Awful.
Yeah,
room.
on the boat.
Yeah, it was not. Sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's terrible.
Yeah.
And Kevin came on to do a spot, and tell you what, it was absolutely magical. The way he controlled that room was. Sometimes you see people do stand up. You're one of those people, actually. I'm like, you're destined. This is your like. This is what you have. This is what you should be doing.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's how it feels to me. I don't think that.
People look at me and they go, "You should maybe do a podcast."
No, I don't think so. You're dynamite live. What's that fucking gig we did together in Edinburgh where you had to do it without the keyboard?
Oh, in Chumps, was it?
Was that Chomps or Rodeo that you had to do?
It was Chumps already, yeah, I think.
It was one of them. But yeah, you were great.
Oh, thanks,
Really good.
man. Thank you.
No, it wasn't Rodeo because remember we had. Was it Rodeo?
No, there was a tech problem at
There was
Radio.
a tech problem at Rodeo.
But
yeah.
no, the Chumps was the one. I couldn't bother to bring the keyboard, so I tried a bit of stand up.
Yeah, it was
right.
great. Smashed it. That's how I mean, that's why I loved Edinburgh. Obviously it's got its problems and it kills you. And I went genuinely mental up there. It was terrible for my mental health, but like it was also amazing for my mental health.
Yeah.
Like I fucking I just don't. I love gigging so much. It's all I want to do, and you get to do more than ever up there.
Yeah, I did sort of forget about how good gigging was because the way the industry is, it's sort of trying to get you
To not gig, yeah.
on telly and stuff. But since television has died and you go back to gigging, you actually realise that that's the best bit about it, right?
I mean, yeah. What I mean is that like everything you, at the moment, it's like telly is dead and you have to gig, but also the gigging itself is different.
Yeah.
It's not funneling into telly and like you have to.
You're there for the gig, not for the showcase of the gig.
Yeah. Everything's like you have to do a million jobs and emails and you've got your podcast and your content that you have to look after.
Yeah. What do you think about me getting absolutely ripped this year? What do you think about that? As an idea.
Yeah, I was thinking of getting absolutely ripped this
Should we
year.
get ripped together?
I think that every year. I think I might get a gym membership or something, or like a spa, like a, you know, the kind of place that's got like a swimming pool and like maybe a little steam room and a sauna.
Yeah, that to me sounds like you'll be sitting in a sauna. That's what that sounds like.
But then doing nominally doing a tiny bit of swimming, like a couple of lengths. I'll have to, and then
I learn how to swim, surely.
yeah, learn how to swim first. Obviously, don't have to learn how to go in the sauna.
Could that be a podcast? Me and Syndal on the side like parents in the cafe.
Paddy said the same thing to me yesterday. He's like, we should do the thing where I teach you how to swim. I mean, I think that I'm gonna.
I'd love to watch Paddy teach you how to swim. So it's like you're bobbing and he's supporting your body and you're kicking
I'd love
in the
that, man.
water.
I'm gonna try and.
I'd like to see you trapped under a wave machine.
You'd like to see me floundering.
Yeah,
Like I've come off the Titanic.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks,
And then David Jones on the side asking you whether you want to live or die.
Yeah, easy. That's an easy one, Dave. Dead for me. Thanks, mate. Just take one look at me, not this one, Captain.
Yeah.
He'll go to pull the sword across my throat, and I've already got the gun out. It's like, you don't have to trouble yourself, David. I'll shoot myself and jump off the
When they
side.
drop you from the island, they give you a gun with one shot on it as like...
Before I've even stepped off the plank.
Yeah,
Before I've even stepped off the plank, I shoot myself in the
If
head.
you were on Davy
Oh,
Jones's...
hang on.
Hello. If you were on Davy...
Sorry, I thought there was something with our microphone, but that was a saw.
No,
around
that
the
was a
corner.
saw, yeah. If you were on Davy Jones's ship, how do you reckon the fish would manifest on you? You know what I'm talking about. So they're a bit fishy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're a bit fishy.
These boys.
How do you think... what kind of fish do you think would you sort of take the form of?
I'd turn into.
Yeah, so there's like a guy with a conch on his head.
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a guy...
yeah,
What
yeah.
Davy Jones himself is a big octi.
There's a hammerhead shark, I believe.
Yeah.
I reckon... Well, I'd absolutely... Well, you know me, you know, I'm like... You know who I love and what I love?
Yeah, you love
Crabs.
Naturo. What? Sorry?
What? I love what?
Naturo.
What?
No, it's no. Keep going.
Who's
Sorry.
Netero?
I don't know. It's an anime, isn't it?
Oh, Netero is a character in Hunter x Hunter, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't really know.
Yeah, fuck. I haven't read Hunter x Hunter for ages. Hang on.
Let's get back on topic.
No, hang on. Netero is... Hang on. It's even in the most peaceful... yeah, Netero's like the old boy in Hunter x Hunter.
Sure.
So
what fish would you be?
Oh yeah, you know I love crabs.
Do you?
Yeah,
I love
you know,
eating crabs.
I think crabs are amazing creatures for many reasons. And
So,
you know that I love them.
Is your head going to be like a bit like a black manta, where it's very oval on the side, or is it sort of no neck on you?
I don't think I've got a crab's head. Maybe I've got crab's eyes.
So on stalks.
Like a big shell on my back.
Yeah.
Maybe
so more like a snail than anything.
one of them has
a snail.
Is it David Jones? Does he have a crab's hand?
He has
or lobster.
I'd say it's more lobster than. God, good to.
I actually think it's more crab.
How much would you pay to eat Davy Jones?
He'd be fucking delicious, wouldn't he?
$1,000, I'd say, to eat him. I'd pay £1,000 to eat Davy Jones.
Imagine giving Davy Jones to Salt Bay. That would be fucking brilliant.
Oh my god! So his beard tentacles great.
He's got octopus on him, and he's got lobster on him,
and his peg leg,
and the most forbidden meat of all, man.
yeah. But he's got a peg leg. You turn that to chopsticks for everyone.
Yeah. You use his leg to eat him. You'd skewer the rest of him on his own leg.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, straight through.
You'd skewer his own leg straight through his head and arm.
Grab his leg and put him over a big fire.
Oh, that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? Imagine having a satay of Davy Jones. Davy Jones satay.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That'd be so good, wouldn't it?
So
remind me, and when we finish recording this, 'cause I don't want to forget, remind me to tell you who I saw.
Okay, I would say. So crab eyes on big sticks, shell on the back like a Ninja Turtle.
Maybe a shell on the back like a Ninja Turtle. I'd like to some of them mix and match, so I'd like to have some bits that aren't just crab.
Are you having like the legs of a crab too? So sort of like little legs at the bottom, creepy crawly legs.
I don't think I'd love the scuttle for eternity.
Sideways too.
Yeah, I think I'd have the legs of... God, are there any sea creatures that have legs? Do you know what I mean? A gurnard has legs, doesn't it? Really small legs.
You could have one of those fish that walk on the bottom of the...
Someone get on the Patreon and tell us whether or not gurnard has legs. We haven't made that up. What are they called? Like arthropods? Is that the right thing? Where they've got like a million little legs, but they scuttle as well. I couldn't have
They're
that.
mostly scuttlers down there. There's not big. They're not big walkers down there. I'll say that.
Maybe I'd have a big fucked up sea sponge for a head. Big gnarly sea sponge for a head, and with crab's eyes poking out.
Coral.
Yeah. The crab's eyes pop out of the coral.
Yeah.
And then I'd have the body, the left arm of a crab. The right arm is one of those singing Billy Bass fish that you have on the wall.
Yeah. Every time you try and do something, you press the button by mistake.
Every time I take a knock, it goes.
Don't worry.
I just played it.
Oh right. Yeah, okay.
Don't worry, be happy.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Be happy now.
Yeah, I'll do that. And then my legs would probably just be normal legs, but with bits of barnacles off, because that's how they're all meant to be turned into fish. But then obviously they've got to walk around the ship and operate it. So a lot of them do have just like human arms and legs.
Yeah, that's true. They do cop out on the arms and legs.
Barnacles on my legs. Maybe like crab shells for kneecaps.
Yeah, like you were doing plastering.
Yeah, like I'm a painter and decorator. Yeah. It's my job to paint the deck, get the barnacles off the deck. Yeah,
it's a kind of your use on the ship is pretty one note. I'd say.
Yeah, and then for those for my hair, I'd have those like stringy, luminescent fronds that you see at the bottom of the sea and in coral reefs.
Sure,
that's what I'd have. What would you be?
So body,
and obviously fan art. That's a given.
Yeah, body entirely of plankton.
Or like millions of plankton.
Yeah,
stuck
millions
together.
of plankton stuck together.
Like Sandman.
Yeah, like the Sandman. Yeah, like Spider-Man 3's the Sandman.
Yeah.
I'm on the ship because I killed Uncle Ben as well.
That's your crime.
Yeah, it's my crime.
Yeah.
Head, I reckon I got a long neck, so I imagine maybe seahorse, neck of a seahorse.
Neck of a seahorse, right.
On top, I think I'd love to be a pufferfish, so quite, when I get angry, I'll puff all out.
Your head would puff up. Oh, they've got one of those. No, he's funny.
Oh, does he puff out?
There's one of them puffs up, doesn't he?
I don't know, maybe.
It's been a long time.
Been
a long time, been a long time, been a long, lonely time. I'd probably sing that if I was on the boat.
I think
I'd introduce Led Zeppelin to 17th century Caribbean and blow everyone's minds.
I think arms would be... Let me think about this. Maybe a big bit of rock with muscles on it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Maybe bum oyster.
Bum oyster.
Yeah.
Yeah, arse
that's
oyster.
Maybe one of the quests that Jack
Have an oyster's
Jack Sparrow
arse.
has to go on. He has to try and find the pearl deep in my butt.
He has to
in my butt.
Has to suck a pearl out of my arse.
I'm thinking legs. What am I thinking?
That'd be good. That'd be a funny character who shits pearls.
I'm surprised they didn't put that in.
Davy Jones. Yeah.
Mackenzie Crook's trying to get a pearl out of his arsehole.
I'm surprised they didn't do a character who's got muscles for muscles.
Oh, that's so good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's good, man. Like you said, I was born to be a comedian.
I think right hand is sashimi plate. It's just flopping about.
One of those like mixed like boxes from wasabi.
Yeah.
Where it's like you get a bit of like California roll, a bit of nigiri, bit of like cucumber.
Yeah, it's just, it's really hard for me to operate the ship. I'm there I'm there to tip boxes basically. They need someone who basically can't operate the ship.
Your arm is a takeaway sushi box. I think my head is one of those little soy sauce squeezers in the shape of a fish. That's my
You're
head.
leaking all over the place. Absolutely disgusting.
With the red cap, yeah. So, other arm.
Feet. Other arm is maybe a lobster cage. Davy Jones is very wary of me. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, he doesn't like you.
Doesn't like the look of me.
His arm and your arm, they don't get along.
Legs, I think, will be maybe turtle's feet.
We're not doing this again.
Turtle's feet?
We're not doing this again.
No, I'm using it in the right context now.
We're not doing this. Yeah, they've got flippers, yeah.
Yeah, flippers, because I can swim.
Well, like Terrapin have flippers with little claws and stuff.
No, we're not getting into this.
Anyway,
we're not getting into this at all.
Again. All right, fine. But
we're not getting this at all.
Yeah, the flipper, but you wouldn't be able to walk about, would you?
Maybe 2 electric eels as my legs. Absolutely impossible to take a walk with me. Impossible.
You just collapse every time.
Every time I take my kids to the playground, I get
you
banned.
Electrocute all the other kids.
Yeah, sure.
You jump in the sea and kill everyone in there.
Let's move on to Sunil, as he's not here. He's not here to defend himself, and neither has he seen the Pirates of the Caribbean. He'd be useless at this.
Do you know what he'd love, actually? Do you know what he'd really love? You know that guy that's like stuck to the wall of the ship, just doesn't do anything. He'd love that.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Everyone thinks he's stuck to the wall of the ship. He's not. He's just been leaning up against it on his phone for so long. Everyone thinks he's stuck there,
just waiting for an email from Toyota.
Yeah, he's not. He's not any part fish. He's just standing leaning against the steering wheel, going on his phone, vaping,
sure.
And everyone assumes he's stuck to the boat and he's trapped there. He's not. He's just wandered on.
He's just vaping a sea snail.
What does he like? He likes his.
What is he? He likes.
He likes his Yaris.
What's a Blu-ray in Pirate Times?
Yeah, that's the thing. Blu-ray and Yaris.
Blu-ray and Yaris.
Yaris.
Main interests.
Yaris would be probably the boat, the Flying Dutchman.
Yeah, the boat, the Flying Yaris.
The Flying Yaris. That's our ship, the Flying Yaris.
Flying Yaris.
The Flying Toyota Yaris.
What's this beard made out of?
It's the least air-conditioned ship on these waters.
Do you reckon he's got a seaweed beard?
I think his beard is made out of Oh, that's really good. Seaweed is good. I like maybe algae and moss.
Yeah.
But moss isn't actually as much of a sea thing, is it?
Maybe his body is like Patrick Star, like a starfish. You know, that's
a giant starfish,
big starfish with a tiny head on the top, tiny little eyes.
I think it would be. I think he'd have the head of
Dory, the head of Dory. Because can't fucking remember anything.
No, I think he'd have his head. He's got like those nice black square smart glasses.
Yeah.
You've got glasses as well. Would you have glasses actually? I've just looked at you and remember that you're wearing them.
The glasses, yeah, but they would be made out of portholes of a ship.
Yeah.
Really big, oversized
porthole glasses, like Millhouse.
Yeah, I'm like Millhouse of the ship.
You're the Millhouse of the ship, yeah. Like Professor Farnsworth.
It's coming up, sea monster.
If his glasses were made of wood,
yeah,
he'd have little spectacles on. No, he wouldn't. I tell you what, Sunil wouldn't be on our boat. He'd be like,
he was Spice Lord on the seas, wouldn't he? He'd be one of the he'd be one of the people trying to shut down the pirates.
You know, in like
his admin king.
You know, when there's like a comedy scene in the port town where like a fusty officiary from like the 17th century like fusty officiary sees an upside down boat bobbing along, and he doesn't know that Orlando Bloom and Johnny Depp are under it, or he sees like Orlando Bloom and Keira Knightley like swinging on a rope.
Yeah.
He's like swinging on a rope above him to escape something, and he like looks at the bottle of rum he's drinking. And goes like, oh, and shakes his head.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
we're out of rum. He'll say.
Yeah,
we're all out of rum. I think maybe Sunil will be on the front of the ship as what's it called? The
figurehead.
Yeah, the figurehead.
A wooden statue of him on his phone,
just reading an instruction manual how an air fryer works.
That'd be great. Have the figurehead of your ship just be someone going on their phone. Yeah, a really nicely rendered wooden sculpture of someone just
trying to buffer watching a Russian slap match.
I love Russian slapping so much.
Russian slapping is good, isn't it?
It's so good, man.
What an evolution of the sport.
It is like...
They're selling out arenas, aren't they?
Are
Bloody
they?
hell. Yeah, there's huge stadiums now.
Awesome.
It's great.
I love it, man.
I don't think I'd do well. I don't think
I'd die, actually. I think they'd kill me.
but that's why they want you, right? Because to someone to die on the sport would be...
Yeah, I would be...
A lot of views. Who would, how Joe Rogan does the MMA? Who would do the slaps here? Which British comedian would do the slaps?
I'm really into the slaps.
You put yourself forward for this, are you?
No. Oh, what you mean doing it? Like, I thought you meant hosting it.
No, the commentary. So who's doing the commentary over the slap?
Oh, me. Yeah, hosting it and doing the commentary. Yeah, definitely me. Like, are you crazy?
Yeah. Okay.
But it's basically it's a combat sport. It's really brutal, isn't it?
Yeah, some people get knocked. They get sparked out. That's what I'm saying.
It's not good for you, is it?
Blows to the head. Well, I don't think they're of sound mind when they go in.
They're definitely not sound mind coming out.
Yeah, they seem absolutely insane. They love it too. I think only the clot, the brain clot you must get. The blood clot in your head.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Like a beanbag. Get a crab to sit on it.
Their head is all blood clot, like a Pirates of the Caribbean fish.
Yeah,
man.
for sure.
I'd have a blood clot for a head, and
donate it to the hospital afterwards. Everyone just takes from the clot.
And what? Let me just roll a cigarette. You think of something to talk about in this lovely vista? Is this a graveyard? Are those graves over there on the wall?
If it is a grave, it's a mass grave because there's no. Sometimes you. Oh yeah, there are some lads over there. One time I was I was filming.
I can't see much writing on it. Sorry, go ahead.
I was filming something in for the sitcom. We found this really lovely place around the back of a church. We're like, it's really lovely and empty here, and it's really peaceful, and no one's around here really. And then about halfway through the film, we realised we were on the site of a mass child grave.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we saw the sign quite late. It said there's about 70 kids buried under the under the filming site.
What happened?
Well, I didn't go to series 2. I think it could have been the children.
That's a really like haunting the production. That's
Yeah,
quite
for sure.
Here's the lighter. That's quite a funny way to announce announce the death of a family member as a doctor. I'm really sorry, but your son won't be getting recommissioned. I'm afraid your children aren't making it to series 2.
Your child has died twice now, both in life and on television.
What happened to the kids? Well, they're like...
I sort of got bored halfway through reading,
sure,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm on a film set, you know?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I was a Hollywood star. I
And
was
these 70 dead
I was
kids
show
are-
running this sitcom.
They're bugging you out.
Yeah, I was screaming at the show, get these kids away. They're ruining the production.
Richard Gadd won loads of Emmys, didn't he? 6.
He did. He won 6. Did he win 6? Guess who else won an Emmy?
Who?
The guy from Shogun.
Really?
Yeah, he got Best Lead Actor. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Gadd, crazy.
Yeah.
The last time I saw him was in the back of a hatchback in a car share on the way to do a gig at Bristol University.
Yeah.
And he's just won 6 Emmys.
Last time I saw him, he was struggling with a overhead projector in a gig that was a bit too small for the projector, I think. He got furious.
I
think he was trying to... He actually tried to bring in the running machine.
And now we're
he just tried to do the tech and the interval. Fucking idiot.
and now he's at the Emmys and we're getting stairs in a graveyard for recording a podcast.
For sure.
Proud of him. Well done, brother.
Yeah, we are proud of Richard Gadd. It's good to see at least, 2 shows from ever make it to Netflix. The Fleabag and this one.
Fleabag and this one, yeah.
2 over the entire period.
Well, 3 really, because his show is like a combination of his 2 shows.
Yeah, we're counting 3 then, are we?
Yeah, we'll count 3.
We'll count 3.
Do you reckon they'll make mine into a Netflix show?
Your stand-up show?
Into a Netflix
narrative drama?
A prestige drama like Baby Reindeer or Fleabag.
What, the downfall of XL Bullies?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Tom Binns story.
It's 9 episodes long.
I'd say that because I talk about Tom Binns in my Edinburgh show. You should come and see it at Soho Theatre if you want to find out what the hell I'm saying.
Yeah, about Tom Binns.
It'd be great to do when they do like a prestige ITV drama about like a high profile British crime.
Yeah.
They did one about fucking like Fred West, I think. They did that Savile one that just came out.
Yeah.
Imagine if we pitched one about Tom Binns.
Yeah. I think you could play Myra Hintley
Stephen Graham playing a detective.
You could play Myra Hintley in a...
Do you think I could play Myra?
I think you got the...
Me and you and me should play Ian Brady and Myra.
And here we are, the kid's mass grave. It's perfect, you know. Sorry about that. I take that back. Obviously, yeah.
Don't have to apologise to me, brother.
Apologise to the mass grave we're sitting
Apologise to the ghosts of the children who cancelled your sitcom.
Yes.
That's all right. I think if there's one place you can make a joke like that, it's probably the Slime Country podcast.
Yeah.
It wasn't really that bad, man.
It's a safe space for me.
It's a safe space for you. It's a safe space for everybody.
It's a safe space for the listener too.
For the listener as well.
I wonder where the listeners are listening to this. Is it on the train, in the car, feeding the kids? There's no kids. There's no children.
I wonder where. Let us know where you're listening, where you like to listen to Slam Country from. That's good market research to find out about our demographic and what to make the podcast like.
I imagine some of them will be listening in
2
bed.
years in.
Right. So I listen to podcasts to try and help me sleep. Well, not successfully.
I imagine as if some of those people like to do that with podcasts.
Yeah, but I imagine when you drop off, right, the podcast is still playing and it affects your sleep and your dreams. Do you reckon people dream about this?
I think it changes brain chemistries.
Yeah.
I reckon...
I used to fall asleep to Fern Brady's book, and I told her about that, and I think she was upset.
Did she read it?
Yeah, she's reading it, yeah.
Yeah, I think there's like... I mean, everybody does that nowadays, though, right? I listen to podcasts when I fall asleep. But I mean, it's sort of if...
I was in bed with someone, and they said... I said, well, I'd like to listen to... Hello. Bloody hell. This is a while ago.
Wow.
But I said...
Burying the lead there, huge.
I said...
Wow, bro's James Bond.
Bro is... Yeah, no. Don't accuse me of that. It was consensual. And I hadn't killed her husband or whatever. But anyway,
It's actually crazy how many times James Bond kills their husband
And
and then sleeps with them.
yeah. Do they know?
Or sleeps with them, then kills their husband.
I feel like they don't know the husband's being killed by James Bond, but sleep with them anyway because they're like, oh, I need to rebound hard.
I only said you were James Bond because I just watched Casino Royale again, and I was trying to think of like a promiscuous man for the joke.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But I was in bed with someone. This was a while ago.
Wow.
But
Okay, all right, James Bond.
I said, well, sometimes I put headphones in. I like to listen to something to try and get me to sleep. If that's all right, it's not. Yeah. And she said, well, that's great. You know, get me in there. Just put it on the pillow. We'll both. I like that as well. So I was I don't know, reading a book, listening to a book. Anyway. But I got it out. I wasn't really paying attention to where I was in the book.
Yeah.
And the scene that was a full-on rape scene of the protagonist. So the book is building towards a horrible event in this person's life, in which they're not really revealed what it is. And it's on the pillow, and then it just suddenly goes into it's a bit of a turn in the book.
Yeah.
And then I was just listening to this thing on the pillow. And she must have thought I was absolutely insane to pull out that to fall asleep to.
I'd put on Slime Country if it was me.
Can you imagine? Just do my homework.
Joel, it's great to fall asleep to.
What?
In Our Time.
Oh, sorry, yeah, that's it.
That mad old cunt, Melvin Bragg. Is it Melvin Bragg? Yeah, he's got an amazing voice. They all speak so quietly on that show.
Yeah.
I turn it down so much that I can't even understand what they're saying. And I just fucking...
But I think our voices are quite good voices to fall asleep to.
Yeah, I think so, probably.
That's why we say don't drive when you listen to the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Well, I mean, yeah, like we've always said that the people who listen to this podcast, you shouldn't be listening to it while operating heavy machinery or driving.
Sure.
We've always said that.
I don't think anyone with heavy machinery would get hands on Slime Country. I think it's not really the vibe of people who operate heavy machinery.
Do you not think so?
What you want is like electro, I imagine.
What
to cancel out the noise of all the machines?
I think techno.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the average demographic of our listenership, not to make assumptions, but I'll do it if I have to. I'd say heavy machinery, less so. Email jobs, loads of them. Can't move for email jobs, I reckon.
You can't be doing a job operating heavy machinery when you're covered in slime.
Yeah,
you know, it's just dangerous.
A lot of I'd say there's a lot of
oh my god, the feather came down. It's like I feel like we're in
we just made a wish.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah, wow. It's from just a fucked pigeon in that tree. The light is hitting that tree so nicely. We're in the golden hour right now. I think there's a lot of people who listen to this podcast who probably work in IT and tech support.
That feels rude.
A lot of basement offices with no windows, I reckon.
A lot of prison guards.
A lot of prisoners.
Yeah, they're in death row.
A lot of death row. That's why our listenership keeps dropping off. Our audience keeps getting executed by the
Green
state.
Sir, do you mind putting the headphones on before I go? As you leave, you get electrocuted.
That's my dream. My dream of the podcast is for it to be the last wish of someone who's going to the electric chair to be listening to this while they go.
Yeah, this is the last meal. Now in podcast in these modern times, you get last meal and last podcast.
Yeah, last podcast. Listening to the rest is entertainment.
I'd like to listen to Leanne, please. I'd like to listen to Draco get impregnated.
As the lethal injection goes into your veins, listening to the rest is politics. Wow, I've got a feather as well. Look at that.
Bloody hell.
On my coat. All right, I'm going to have to knock this on the head. I have to go to dinner.
That's okay, that's fine.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thank you, and please subscribe to the
pod,
to the
Patreon,
Patreon and everything,
and follow the podcast.
And also, please,
this
so we've recorded 2 episodes back to back outside. We quite enjoy this. Let us know if you enjoyed it as well, because we like to do more of this kind of a thing.
21st and 22nd of October, I think. Maybe the 20th and 21st, but I think it's the 21st and 22nd. I'm doing the Soho Theatre in London.
Come to Ed's show.
All right, thanks everybody. Thanks for listening.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.